Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another, I wanted to say midweek frenzy, man. Welcome to another episode of Funs with Hans, which is what I believe the episode 6. These things are kind of accelerating. It's like 6 weeks? Has it really been like 6 weeks since we started this? I mean, episode 6, it feels like, oh, you're still at the beginning, but it's kind of rolling, it's kind of going, so, happy about that. It's kind of a good to break the stale and just talk about things. But before we proceed any further, I do have to apologize that the audio from the in-game sounds in this video is probably going to be a bit louder than in a couple of past episodes. You could say that we went back to the first 1 or 2 episodes where you were complaining like, Lambas, we can barely hear you. The shots are too loud because once again I potatoed. Okay, you know, that's just how it goes. Come on, you're used to this. You know me better than this. Come on, of course you have to explain. Well, you have to expect at least one potato per video. Otherwise something is wrong, okay? What did I potato? Well, I basically recorded a video yesterday, which should be the game you're watching right now. And I forgot to turn down the in-game sounds. So these sounds that you will be hearing right now are going to be basically just as loud as you hear them in any other replay you watch, in any other game I play. This is like the setup that I use. But because of your feedback from the previous, I don't know, 5 episodes, or to be precise, a couple of the first ones, where you said that it's too loud, I actually remembered. Ooh, success. And in the next couple of episodes, I went in the game and decreased the sounds to like a half, so that when I talk, you can hear me over the in-game audio. So I will try to keep my voice a bit higher as I am right now, because I'm definitely talking louder now than I would probably be talking like this. So today is the day of days. I'm kidding. But I will, because I basically, you know, I woke up a couple of hours ago, but I still feel just bad drone. I don't know how to explain myself, so. And I didn't really talk that much yet, so my voice is still weird. Anyway, you get the feeling. If the in-game audio is a bit loud, I'm sorry. But it's like, I don't know how many minutes of material recorded. And of course, as always, a couple of things that I always set differently for Funs with Hans than what I do for the regular setup. Whenever I forget about those things, I always remember to change them like 5 minutes before everything is already recorded and ready. And at that point, it's too late, because it's already like 10-11 a.m. And at that time I'm already posting a regular video. But the thing about these videos is I have to, in one-on-one, in real time, record 1 or 2 games that I want to show, to have enough material to talk about over, and then the intro, and then put them all together. And then that's already like, I don't know, sometimes 40-50 minutes of video material recorded. And I usually start doing these around 10 a.m. Which is around the time that I would usually post a video, like between 9 and noon, if I'm not late. And, well, when that's all over, it's already like 11 a.m. like it's now. It's right now 11:05 when I'm recording this. And I start the whole video in the background, and then I record the audio on top of it. And then I compile the two, and then they need to be processed. Everything needs to be rendered, and blah, 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 all this stuff that nobody understands, including myself. And that takes another, I don't know, 15-20 minutes, half an hour, I don't know. And then you need to upload everything to YouTube. Oh boy, that takes another half an hour, And then I need to leave it for at least another 15-20 minutes if I don't want to have every single comment in the YouTube section,
Oh my god, 360p. Oh my god, Columbus, what is this? 2019, it's only 360p. What is this? How is this possible? Oh, you knew.
it's like every video that I make and upload to YouTube, and people who immediately jump in and watch it, of course, they get to 360p. In case you didn't know, and I don't know this because I'm an expert, quite the contrary, I suck at these things. But I know it because of the experience. Just like you, when somebody uploads a video that he just made, you turn on the video and it's only in 360p. And then, depending on how long the video is, how long it takes for him to get uploaded again. It's like, the way I understand this, and correct me if I'm wrong, you upload a video and it's uploaded in the worst quality first, and then it gets re-uploaded in a bit better quality, and then it gets re-uploaded in even better, all the way till the maximum quality, which is the one you set, which for my videos is 1080p. Even though majority of the games that I make, which are Funs with Huns and special compilations, they don't look nearly close to 1080p, because somewhere along the line, clips from Twitch through the rendering program and then uploading to YouTube and all that stuff, they lose quality. And some of them lose significant quality. I'm talking like, some of them look like, I don't know, half of 1080. And I understand this, and I tried to solve this, but we'll talk about it in a second. So, yeah, it takes a long time for everything to be up and ready. So you are probably watching this between noon and 1 p.m. CET. That's my guess, because by the time I'm done with this and everything gets rendered and uploaded, yeah, probably around 1 p.m. But hey, it's about lunchtime. I guess you have something to listen to the lunchtime, if that's your thing. If that's not your thing, what are you doing? What are you doing with your life? Why are you still here? Do not, no, don't, I'm just kidding. Anyway, let's go. A couple of things I wanted to talk about today. I don't know which ones to start with, the good ones or the bad ones. The positive ones or the negative ones. There's been some hustle, and disturbance in the force, talking about the player base being dropped. Now, according to certain statistics and certain pages, the World of Warships player base has dropped in the past, I don't know, couple of weeks, 10%, which is huge. But then certain other people made vids about it, and they went into the detailed statistics and explanations and stuff, how this is not true, and how the World of Warships player base still keeps steadily climbing. So, I mean, I'm not going to talk about the stats. I hate talking about the stats. That's the job for people who like looking at the spreadsheets, and God knows there are more than enough of those in the world. I just want to talk about how I feel about the whole thing, how I hear, not how I think, how I hear you guys feel about this, and, you know, how to move forward or how to cope with it. If you want to talk about stats, it's not too hard. Just open the stats on whatever page it's about these things and just look and talk with people who want to talk about it. One of my mods approached me and said, wow, look at this. You know, player base in the last, I don't know how many, it's been dropped for 10%. Now, honestly, just briefly, every game, every patch, every moment has its ups and downs. Just like in 24 hours, you will have huge ups and downs. Like during the day, you will peak at, God knows, let's say 20k. During the night, you will have like 500 people playing. It's nothing new. Then you have different times of the year where people are with their family and friends, or summer, or vacation, or just whatever, and they're not behind their PCs, and they're not listening to you ranting about them listening to you, or whatever else. So, it's normal. My only concern that I brought to wargaming, which is of course NDA and all this stuff, so I can't really share exactly what I talk about with them and what they said in response, and whether I like it or not. I'll just leave it to myself. But basically, my concern was, okay, statistics say that we've dropped a 10%, or so to say. What are we expecting? Are we expecting this to move up? To stay? To move down? How are we looking right now? Now, I do understand that a lot of people are from mildly upset to beyond pissed. And this includes people who haven't spent a dime in the game to people who, from what I've seen, bought like one premium every week. Or at least one premium every week. Now, of course, I'm not going to talk about how are people going to spend money and how much money someone makes. That's a private, personal thing. That's not for me or for you or for anyone else in that matter to talk about. How much money someone makes is entirely his own thing. What is he going to do with that money is entirely his thing. Of course, as long as it's not hurting anyone else. So, everybody is affected by these things, whether you like it or not. It's in the game. And sometimes it bugs me when I hear certain people, let's just say it like that, talk about, oh, but you know, majority likes this. It's those naysayers who hate it. What do you mean, those naysayers? It's like, what do you mean, those people? Those people? Who are we talking about here? We're talking about the entire player base. Okay, the entire player base, according to certain statistics, is, well, not entire, majority, is happy with the rework. There's a lot, and I know this for a fact, there are people, and I dare to say a lot of people, who are happy with the rework. Why? Why is the real, I don't know, would you call it issue or a question here? The carrier rework, if we just stick to it and look at it from the perspective of a carrier, it looks a lot better now. It's actually it looks like an action game. Yeah, it's arcadey as hell. It's too simplified. I hate a billion things about it. But it's no longer the RTS playstyle. It's no longer just, you know, standing top-down view, looking at squares and grids and just clicking and stuff like that. Don't get me wrong, I used to, you know, enjoy very much the old RTS style and all that jazz, and I miss it and all that stuff, but the new thing just looks better. And this is very weird for me to say, and just to clarify what I mean by looks better, I'm talking about the looks. It looks better. That's it. In case you don't know, there are multiple servers across the world for World of Warships. By the way, the game you're watching right now in the background, look at the points we have, look at the points they have, look what I did in a spawn of, I don't know, a couple of minutes, and just look at my team. This is probably the thing that I wanted to talk about, that I wanted to open this whole thing with, is the kind of games that I had recently. Are you kidding me right now, neighbor? Are you going to drill my head right now? Now? From all the time in the bloody world, now is when you decide to drill? Well, this is gonna be fun with Hunts. It's gonna be a lot of fun for you to listen to in the background. Well, anyway, at least I can hope it's not gonna last too long, or at least I can hope the in-game sounds and my fat voice is going to, you know, overtune that thing. If it doesn't, I'm sorry, nothing I can do about it. I don't know how long it's gonna last. I think it already stopped, thank God. Nope, he didn't. Anyway, World of Warships has multiple servers. What am I talking about? NA server, EU server, Southeast Asia server, and China server. China server is special. They have like their own rules, their own games, their own, I don't know, are even the same developers working for that game. apparently China server, or Chinese server, whatever you want to call it, I don't care, is years behind everybody else. They like to do things their own way. They like to take the games their own course. And on the Chinese server, there is no 080. There's still RTS carriers, and nobody's talking about, as far as I heard, about, you know, the carrier rework getting there anytime soon. Which is pretty funny, because it's the same game. And it's not the same game anymore. The 080 just changed the game so much that it's basically two different games now. Especially from the carrier perspective. It's pretty funny because Farah Zeleth, who is a carrier main, and a lot of you may know him from Kings of the Sea or Clan Wars or whatever, and he's also a community contributor. He's been heavily involved in the reworked, and he tried his best, and he's still trying his best to influence the wargaming and tell them how to balance stuff and what to do. Well, needless to say, a lot of things he said never see the day of light in the rework. But I saw a video, was it yesterday or this morning, I'm not sure, where he discovered what I just told you, that Chinese server doesn't give an F, and they still have the RTS. So he went there, and he was like, oh. It was just having very special moments downstairs, playing the good old RTS, which I thought would be my feeling when I saw the video. But when the video started and I saw that top-down view RTS, something inside of me was like, ugh, did it look like this before? It's just, I don't know. I can't explain this. It's weird. It's been a couple of weeks, and you're getting used to the whole thing that the carriers are now being action played, like the ships. And I'm okay with that. You know, F it. If that's the way the wargaming wants to do it, then okay, we can do it. I am so not happy with how some things are balanced, because they're completely broken. But I got over it. I've realized that there's absolutely nothing that I can do that is going to make them put the RTS back. I think I don't know, everybody and their mothers would have to say that they hate the carrier gameplay, stop playing the game, and just, like, I don't know. But nobody wants that. Why would you want to see the game that you love die? Nobody wants that. That's stupid. And I'm not telling you to do that. Don't do that. I really don't know what would have to happen for wargaming to just scrap this way of doing things and go back to the old one. Because that just means that they wasted God knows how much time and resources and everything into nothing. And just go step back and then start fixing stuff that should have been fixed years ago. So I think, you know, it's pretty safe to say that a lot of you who are still saying, oh my god, when are they going to go back to the old things? If it is even going to happen, I can guarantee you it's not going to happen for at least 6 months. And in those 6 months, everything would have to look so bad, so grim, so devastating. They would have to get so desperate that they would do anything. But honestly, even then it's kind of questionable. So let's try. I'm very conflicted inside trying to tell you this, because you know that I don't like the patch 080. I hate it for multiple reasons. I used to love playing old carriers. I used to enjoy it. I used to hate things about them as well. And it's all the way it is. But you get used to the new carriers. It's not that difficult. They couldn't be more simple and more easy than they are, which is one of the things that I dislike about them. And I spent 20 minutes talking about this. I only wanted to talk about this for a few minutes. It's just such a huge subject. Let me try to be short and brief. the rework happened, and it's here to stay, and I don't think there's anything we can do to change it, and I would heavily advise you to, you know, as a friend, okay? This is not me being biased. This is not me being bought or paid by Wargaming or all the save those kind of comments for someone else, okay? Because that is... You're putting yourself in a very... I have a questionable IQ, lights, okay? Don't go with those comments. Nobody from CCs is paid by Wargaming, and none of us should be, at least, biased by Wargaming, because what can I gain? I already have everything in the game, okay? And I grinded through all of this myself. Yes, Wargaming is supporting us with the in-game goodies, which for most part is just so we could show it to you, but it's very nice of them and thank you, but I already have everything. If the Wargaming would stop giving me everything from this point on, it still wouldn't change the way I do things. I would still be saying the same things and have the same opinions, okay? So all of you with tinfoil hats who think that we're paid or biased, or at least myself, okay, to be fair, at least myself. I cannot know exactly if there's other people who are licking certain behinds and stuff like that just so they could, whatever, tinfoil hat theories. I don't care. I try to be as honest as and is as independent in talking about these things as I can possibly be, and a lot of people have recognized this, and I hope a lot more even do, because I will say what I want to say, okay? I will express my opinion, and that's that. Whether Wargaming likes it or not, I'm going to say. If they go and say, we want this rework to work, and we need all the CCs to say it's awesome. If I don't think it's awesome, I'm not gonna do it. And first of all, I don't think Wargaming would ever ask us that, because that would be rigging, censorship, dictatorship. And we don't want that, we don't need that, so screw that. So please, like, can you just respect what I'm trying to tell you? Can you believe me when I'm telling you, you know, I'm telling you what I feel, what I personally think. If you don't agree with my personal opinion, that's fine, okay? You can have completely opposite, but don't be one of those dudes who's in the comment section and be like, oh my god, you're getting paid. How much did you get paid? These bloody CCs, they're trying to turn us again. What? No, that makes no sense, dude. That makes no sense. I'm not Wargaming. I'm not working for Wargaming. I'm helping Wargaming, and I'm helping you. That's it. I'm a link. I'm a bond between the two, and I'm not biased towards either of the two. Hell, I would step more on the player side than Wargaming side any day. If that's how I feel. Okay? So don't give me that crap. Now I lost my course, what I wanted to say. Damn it. See what you made me do? Okay. So, yeah. Rework. Is it good or is it bad? Only you can answer that question for yourself. Is it good or is it bad? I don't know. Do you like it or not? That's the thing. If you don't like it, what do you not like? And most of people will tell you, I don't like how the game is looking right now. Why? Carriers. But you have to distinguish two things. Most of the people don't hate new carriers how they play. Most of the people hate how carriers are introduced in correlation to other classes. I don't hate how the new carrier is played. I don't hate flying around in a plane and trying to do these drops and all that stuff. I think it's extremely simplistic. I think Wargaming should find new ways to make it a bit more complex, because it's too easy and it gets too boring too fast. I think they need to give you more things to do. Okay? When you're in a ship, you have to watch your speed, you have to watch your course, you have to watch your aim, interception, spotting, torpedoes, radars, planes, defensive AA on or off, consumables, manage your heal, manage your repair kit, reload, when are your guns going to be turned, when are you going to fire, who you going to aim. There's a billion things you have to do when you're sailing in a ship. And the smaller, the lower the class of the ship is, the more stuff you have to look for and look about. It's like DDs are the most complex, and then you have cruisers, and then you have battleships, and then you have carriers, which is pretty funny because carriers used to be top of the line in complexity. Now there's nothing to do. You just lift off and you're flying around like a pigeon, and then you find someone and you ruin their life. You ruin their game. That's where the problem lies. At this point, I couldn't care less which type of the carriers are we going to have in the game. Are we going to play the new ones or the old ones, RTS or action style? What I hate, absolutely hate, is that they're destroying our game if you are anything else. When they get a hold of you, it's insane. It is insane. And it's so hard to balance them out properly, because one day Wargame is going to realize that even though this game is 3.5 years old, there's one crucial thing that we miss. Spotting. Rewarding for spotting. Without that, this will never work. As long as the carriers and everything else in the game relies on damage and kills, they will be overpowered or boring. Who wants to play a class that can't do the damage? And if you want to balance the carriers properly, they will not be able to do a lot of damage. Carriers will be there to have so-so damage, which a lot of them actually are. The problem is that they can torture you to the point where you want to uninstall the game and never come back. That's the problem. They are extremely annoying to deal with. They don't have the downtime when they lift off. In 30 seconds, they're on top of you striking a DD that barely even achieved full speed yet. It's stupid. How can you tell me that the planes are ready to lift off a carrier and fly across half of the map and are ready to attack, and I don't even have the guns reloaded? For heaven's sake, who thought that was a good idea? That makes no sense. Planes took hours to get ready. And here they are. Carriers are like locked and loaded. Seriously? Pearl Harbor, anyone? Anyway. I hope they will fix that in the upcoming patch. So I'm not trying to be all grim and bad and stuff. Yeah, it's getting fixed. Let's just quickly pause. Take a look at the game right now. 4v4, 3 caps to 1, 3 times more points. Everything is in our favor. Okay? These are the kind of games that I've been having yesterday. I usually stream World of Warships around 4 or 5 hours a day. And then I switch to something else. Like Rainbow Six recently, and I even started streaming it. It's pretty fun. Yesterday I streamed about 2.5 hours of games like this, and then I rage quit. And I streamed for the next 5-6 hours Rainbow Six, which was ridiculous because it was usually the other way around. The problem is the carriers are scouting everything all the time, no matter how good or bad the player they are. Reward them for scouting. Decrease the amount of damage and killing they can do. Balance that out so they can't actually have large portions of damage, and they can have only high number of kills if you're an idiot or if they're, kill securing. But introduce scouting, just like the DDs. Unfortunately, DDs can't scout anymore, so they purely rely on their damage and kills, and that's extremely hard right now, because if the carrier wants you dead, you're screwed. You're absolutely screwed, and no matter how many planes you kill, he's still gonna have at least one to scout you. It's just... I think this game greatly, greatly misses one very, very important part of it, and that is scouting. As soon as they introduce scouting in the game properly, this huge mechanic that's been missing for 3.5 years now, we can take a leap forward. We can take a step forward in balancing the new carriers. I think it will be very much possible, and people who want to play the new carriers in the way of action will be fun, will be satisfied, because majority of the people seems to Let's just say that the carriers have increased a couple of times at least in how many people play them. It may not be much, but they did. So when it comes to carrier players, there's an increase. Of course, majority of the people still think, or the last survey showed, we want the old ones back. True, but a lot of people are satisfied with this, and a lot of people that didn't play are playing. What's good, what's bad, what's better, what you like, what you dislike is entirely up to you. I can cope with both, honestly. Whether they ever bring the RTS back or they stick with these, whatever, fine. I think Wargaming wanted to achieve that there's not going to be carrier main players anymore. It's just going to be carriers that everyone will be playing, but not all the time. And I think they are actually achieving that, because I queue up on a daily basis 1 or 2 games with a carrier, because when I don't know what to play anymore, I just queue up with a carrier and I'm flying around and ruining people's lives, because that's what carriers do now. But then at the end of the game, most of the time, you actually don't have a lot of damage. Yeah, don't get me wrong, I know all those 550k damage games and all that stuff, yeah, but, you know, they're still in the minority. A lot of these things are actually, you take a look and you're like, I'm not going to break 100k again. You can get a couple of kills, you can get a lot of decaps, a lot of spotting, a lot of this and a lot of that. You can have 30 torpedo hits and still not break 100k because they do a ridiculously low amount of damage. At least everything besides the tier 10. The tier 10, yeah, well, they're kind of an exception. So yeah, more balancing is definitely needed. Scouting is something that's essential for the carriers and this game to work. Hopefully the DDs are going to be spotted only on the minimap, because that would greatly increase people to watch the damn thing. I have never felt this enraged, about how clueless people are about the minimap. The only way that I could explain this is if you remove the interface. Let's remove the minimap, let's remove the team panels, and let's remove the caps and scoreboards, so nobody knows actually, unless you turn around and really inspect everything in detail. Nobody will know, just by looking at the screen, with your eyes. No one's gonna know that you're winning or losing, or what time is left, or how many ships are left. Do we need to push, do we need to... It's just ridiculous. And now I'm pissed about myself, because I wanted to talk about 5 other things, and I don't have the time, because we're out of time. Maybe next time. I need new gear, that's all I'm gonna tell you. I need new keyboards, new headset, I'm buying a new table, maybe the face cam and all this stuff. I need a whole bunch of gear for when I move to the new apartment. Leave some suggestions down below. We can talk about this in detail next episode. And as always, sorry for everything being so grim, but it's not. It's actually not. Thank you for watching. Leave a like, share, and all that jazz, and let me know in the comments below what you think about it. Thank you. Have a good rest of the day, and I'll see you on the stream.